Well, dear students, good morning to you all. Good morning. Today our topic is rectification of errors. Rectification of errors is one of the important topic in accountancy. Why? Because the main objective of accountancy is to know the profit and financial position at the end of the year. We want to know the profit or loss, and we want to know the financial position, not physical position, financial position at the end of the year. Suppose certain errors are made in accountancy. Error is nothing but a mistakes made in accountancy unintentionally. Unintentionally, whatever the mistakes are made in accountancy, they are called errors in accountancy. Suppose there are errors, we have to find, we have to locate, we have to detect the errors, and we must rectify them. Unless you find the errors, unless you rectify the errors, how can you find out the real profit and real financial position? Isn't it or not? So, we have to know the errors. How to know? After generalizing and then ledger posting, and all the accounts are balanced, from these balances, a trial balance is prepared. A trial balance is prepared. Trial balance is a statement of all balances of ledger accounts. Trial balance is a statement of balances of all ledger accounts. The trial balance is a statement prepared at the end of the year generally, but on a particular date, whenever you want, you can prepare. Generally, it is prepared at the end of the financial year. Based on trial balance only, final accounts are prepared, trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. They are all prepared based on trial balance. After preparing trial balance only, we can find out the errors, we can locate the errors, we can detect the errors. Understanding? So, trial balance. In this trial balance, we are taking all the balances. Debit balance is in one column and credit balance is in the another column. The total of debit must be equal to the total of credit. Why? Because we are in the double entry system. For every debit, credit is there, and for every credit, debit is also there. So here, all assets and expenses, they are debit side. All the liabilities to outsiders, and capital, profits, reserves which are payable to owners, and all incomes. These are all credit side. Well, dear students, following or not? Trial balance is a statement of all balances of ledger accounts and also cash balance. So assets, including all land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, stock, debtors, cash, etc. All expenses, rent, rates, tax, insurance, lighting, etc. And then liabilities. Liabilities payable to outsiders, creditors, bills payable, overdraft. Liabilities payable to owner, capital, profits and reserves. All the liabilities and profits are credit side, all the assets are debit side, expenses also debit side. Now, purchases are always coming in, so debit. Sales always going out, that's why credit. Purchase returns, they are going out, credit. Sale return, they are coming in, that's why debit. The total of debit must be equal to the total of credit, it must be tallied with each other. Suppose here, the total is 10,000, here also total is 10,000. The total debit side you got 10,000 and credit side also you got 10,000. So trial balance is tallied. Then you can feel that you are correct and your books are also correct. No errors are there. We can feel that there are no errors. But actually there may be a chance of errors. Why? Because certain errors may not affect the trial balance. They may not affect the accuracy of trial balance. That's why the trial balance may tally, but still there are errors. Such errors are called errors not disclosed by trial balance. Well, dear students, understanding or not? Errors not disclosed by trial balance. Whenever trial balance tallied, we can feel that there are no errors. But still there are errors. There may be chance. Such errors are called errors not disclosed by trial balance. Just to take an example, we purchased goods from a supplier, not recorded in the books. So, it is not included in the purchases and it is not included in the liability. Automatically trial balance is tallied. Trial balance tallied means don't feel that there are no errors, there may be chance of errors. Such errors are called errors not disclosed by trial balance. Understand? నువ్వు ఎగ్జామ్ పాస్ అయ్యావు బాబు, రిజల్ట్ ఫేవరబుల్గా వచ్చింది, మంచి పర్సంటేజ్ వచ్చింది, ఆటోమేటికల్గా ఎర్రర్స్ ఏవి బయటపడవు. అండర్స్టాండ్? సపోజ్ ద ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ నాట్ టాలీ, దట్ మీన్స్ రిజల్ట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఇన్ ఫేవర్, ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఎర్రర్స్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్. ఏయా అదే పనిగా సినిమాలు చూస్తూ ఉన్నావు, అందుకే ఫెయిల్ అయ్యావరా? ఏరా ఎప్పుడు గేమ్స్ ఆడుకుంటూ కూర్చున్నావు, అందుకే ఫెయిల్ అయ్యావరా? ఇవన్నీ ఎప్పుడు బయటకు వస్తున్నాయి బాబు? రిజల్ట్ అన్ఫేవర్ అయితే. అర్థమైందా? అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ టాలీ కాకపోతే ఆటోమేటికల్గా ఎర్రర్స్ బయటకు వస్తాయి. whenever the trial balance not tally, suppose here 10,000, here there is only 9,000, there is a difference of 1,000, temporarily we will put it as a suspense. That 1,000 temporarily kept as transferred to suspense account. That means there are 100% errors. Whenever trial balance not tallied, there are errors. There must be errors. Such errors are called errors disclosed by trial balance. Well, dear students, once again, trial balance is prepared on a particular date, generally at the end of the year. It is prepared to know the arithmetical accuracy of the books of accountancy. Trial balance is helpful to prepare final accounts, trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. And by preparing trial balance, we can find out the errors also. Errors are nothing but the mistakes made in accountancy without any intention. We are not interested to make an error. By mistake, the error is made. Such errors, that errors are two types. That errors are two types. Errors not disclosed by trial balance. Errors disclosed by trial balance. This is the classification based on accounting part. Theoretically, errors are four types. Errors of principle, errors of omission, errors of commission, and compensating errors. What they are called? Compensating errors. Well, dear students, this is the classification theoretically, but it is the classification based on accounting part. Once again, whenever you prepare a trial balance, if it is tally, then we feel that there are no errors, that there may be chance of errors. There may be a chance of errors. Such errors are called errors not disclosed by trial balance. But whenever trial balance not tallied, tally avale, నాకు ఈక్వల్ అవటం లేదు సార్, టాలీ అవటం లేదు సార్, that means there are errors. There must be errors. Such errors are called errors disclosed by trial balance. Errors affected the trial balance. It affected the accuracy of trial balance. Suppose in the assets building, you have not taken in the trial balance, automatically how it will be tallied? Understand? Tally of that. Not taken the building. The building is one of the important asset, and the balance we have not taken, so trial balance cannot be tallied. So that error can be coming out because it is not tallied. అర్థమవుతుందా? So errors not disclosed by trial balance and errors disclosed by trial balance. This is the classification based on accounting part. But this is the classification based on theoretical part. Errors here, errors of principle. Suppose we purchased a machinery. Machinery is an asset. It is a capital item. It must be debited. Machinery account debited, must be debited. But by mistake they debited to purchases account. You know, purchases is applicable only to the goods with which you are doing business. You can write down, you can debit the purchases account when you purchased goods, not machinery purchased. Suppose machinery purchased, machinery must be debited, not to purchases. That type of errors are called errors of principle. And I will tell you one more example also. Rent paid to house owner. Rent is a nominal account, it is an expenditure, all expenses must be debited. All expenses must be debited. So rent must be debited. Instead of debiting rent account, they debited to owner account. Owner's daughter, they are all not important to us. We paid only rent. Rent must be debited. Owner is not important. But by mistake they debited to owner. Such an error is called error of principle. Understanding or not? Where the students? The error is made in the principle. They don't know. Nominal account must be debited. They debited to debit the receiver. Owner is the receiver. That's why they debited. So principle is wrong. That errors are called errors of principle. Next, error of omission. A transaction is completely not recorded in the books. It is called whole omission of error. Transaction. Whole omission of transaction. Sometimes a transaction is recorded, journalized in the books, but one account is not posted. That is called partly omission. Partly omission. Understanding? They are called errors of omission. Next, errors of commission. At the time of totaling, at the time of balancing of account, at the time of posting into the amount column, suppose you have to post 1,000, but you posted only 100 rupees. Understand? Such type of errors are called errors of commission, and they are also called as clerical errors. Clerical work, not concept, not the principle. Just at the time of doing clerical work, you made an error. Such an error is called errors of commission or clerical errors. Next and last, compensating errors. Here, two errors are made. One error compensated the another error. Such type of errors are called compensating errors. Where, dear students, this compensating errors and errors of principle and fully omission of a transaction, these three may not affect the trial balance. They may not affect the accuracy of trial balance. Instead of debiting to rent to, you debited to owner. But expenditure already debit is there now. Instead of rent, owner is debited. So, trial balance will be tallied. Understand? Whole omission. A transaction is not recorded in the books. Automatically trial balance will be tallied because no debit is there, no credit is there. Understand? Next, compensating errors. These errors also may not be disclosed by trial balance because they are already compensated. One error compensated the another error. Understanding? Please take down and I will go through how to go through the accounting part. These two are called, this classification is called based on accounting part. This classification is called based on theoretical part. Understanding? Please take down.
One.
Well, dear students, just I already explained what are the different types of errors from accounting side as well as from theoretical side. Now, I am explaining how to rectify the errors when they are not disclosed by trial balance. Roman number 1, errors not disclosed by trial balance. Well, dear students, these errors, they never affected the trial balance. Though that error is made, trial balance is already tallied. Such errors are called errors not disclosed by trial balance, not affected the trial balance. They are also called two-side errors. What it means? Two-side errors means when we are going to rectify the error, we have to pass a rectifying entry. For that rectifying entry, debit is available, credit is available. No suspense. Suspense account not required. That's why for these errors, no suspense account is needed. Well, dear students, I already told you two types of errors are there. As far as accounting part is concerned, these errors are not disclosed by trial balance. One by one I am explaining. Please follow. A transaction not recorded in the books. A transaction not recorded in the books. Suppose you purchased goods from X, not recorded in the books. What you can do now? So as to rectify, record the original entry. Same entry you can write down. Same original entry. What is the entry for purchases? Purchases are coming in purchase account at R 2X. Understanding? The same entry you can write down. Original entry can be recorded. Example what I told? Purchase from X. $5,000 not recorded. Now what is the rectifying entry? Purchases are always debit. Purchases accounted are 2X account. 5,000. Once again, my dear students, whenever a transaction not journalized, not recorded in the books, you can pass the original entry. Understand? What is the original entry when we purchase the goods? Purchases accounted are 2X account. The same entry you can record. Original entry can be recorded. That only called rectifying entry. Understand? Next, number 2. A transaction recorded with less amount. Now, how to rectify? Here also you can pass the original entry. You can record the original entry for the difference amount. Suppose we sold goods to Y. Sales to Y. 1,500. but recorded in the books as 150. Well, dear students, what is the first one? We never recorded the entry, just you can record the same entry, that only rectify. In the second case, what I am telling, we sold goods to Y accounted R to sales, they recorded correctly, but they have taken only 150 rupees instead of 1500. How much they have taken less? 1350. The same amount, for the same amount, you can pass the original entry. So now, rectifying entry, sales to Y, debit the receiver, Y accounted R, to sales account. Y accounted R, to sales account. How much we have to take? 1350. Why? Because they already recorded 150. The remaining amount we have to take out. In this case, not recorded, same entry is now recorded. Here they recorded, but with less amount. So you can pass the original entry for the difference amount. Understanding or not? Now, come to third. Recorded with excess amount or higher amount. Now, how to rectify? Well, dear students, they have taken the more amount, excess amount. For that purpose, how to rectify? We have to reverse the original entry. నువ్వు కాదు రివర్స్ అవ్వాల్సింది, ఎంట్రీ మస్ట్ బి రివర్స్డ్. Here, the original entry, think in your mind or write down in your rough work, the original entry must be reversed for the difference amount. Original entry is to be reversed. For the difference amount. Look here, example. Returns from Y ₹150 entered in the books as 510. Well, dear students, when you are in accountancy, the amounts must be taken clearly and correctly. Clearly and correctly. You must concentrate. You must be active at that time. Here what happened? Instead of 1500, they taken 150. That means only 1 zero missed. Zero. It affects a lot. Not only a single zero. Don't say like that. Here, what happened? Instead of 150, they have taken as 510. Just the amount is replaced. The amount is jumbled. 150 is taken as 510. That means they have taken more. So what you have to do now? How to rectify? What is the original entry when we received returns from Y? Returns are coming. They are sales returns. Previously we sold. They are coming in. Sales returns accounted or to Y account. Understanding? Sales returns accounted or to Y account. But they taken more. So we have to reverse the original entry. So think the original entry in your mind. Or write down in a rough word. Sales returns to Y. This must be reversed now for the difference amount. Y accounted or to sales returns. How much we have to take? Difference amount 360. 150 minus 510 or 510 minus 150. The difference is equal 360. Understanding or not? Please. Here, entry not at all recorded. It is not journalized. It is not entered into the books of accountancy. So what you can do? Pass original entry only. Here, they have taken less amount. So pass original entry only for the difference amount. But in this case, they taken more, they taken excess. Then what we have to do? We have to reverse the original entry for the difference amount. Understanding or not? Following? Here, I am explaining in a systematical order what is the error and how it is to be rectified. I am giving one example. For that example, one rectifying entry also given. Understanding? Now, come to the fourth one. This is the very important model. Why? Because maximum accountants they may do such type of errors. Yeah, students kuda chaala mandi they know the rules of debit and credit. Debit the receiver, credit the giver, debit what comes, credit what goes, debit expenses and losses, credit incomes and gains. They know. But when they are applying the principles or the rules of debit and credit, they may do certain mistakes. They are only called errors of principle. What they are called? Errors of principle. Look here. One account debited instead of debiting another account. Instead of debiting another account. How to rectify? Look here. Instead of debiting one account, they debited another. Understand? Original account must be debited. And wrong debit must be created. Wrong debit must be created. Well, dear students, I am giving example here. Understand or not? Instead of debiting one, they debited another account. Original account must be debited. What they debited wrongly, that must be created. That must be created. Look here. Purchase machinery. Purchase machinery 1,000 rupees or 10,000. Passed through purchases book. Now rectifying entry. Well, dear students, when we purchase machinery, machinery is coming in machinery account data. Machinery must be debited. But they entered in purchase book. That means they debited wrongly purchases. Understand? What must be debited? Machinery must be debited. What they wrongly debited? Purchases. So that can be created now. మిషనరీని డెబిట్ చేయాలి, చేద్దాం. వాళ్ళు అనవసరంగా పర్చేస్ని డెబిట్ చేశారే, దాన్ని క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం. అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఆర్ నాట్? మిషనరీ మస్ట్ బి డెబిటెడ్. మిషనరీ అకౌంట్ డెటార్ purchase is wrongly debited, so to rectify it is created now. Understand or not? For this purpose, some are writing what is the original entry, machinery account data to cash. What is the wrong entry they passed? Purchase account data to cash. Now we have to write down rectifying entry. In such a way, no need to think. Yeah, అన్ని ఎంట్రీలు ఎందుకయ్యా బాబు, అన్ని సుమోలు ఎందుకురా నాన్న, అసలే పెట్రోల్ రేట్లు పెరిగిపోయినాయి, ఒక్క సుమోలో కూడా. అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా అన్ని ఆలోచించే కంటే మనం మిషనరీ పర్చేజ్ చేసాం, మిషనరీ డెబిట్ చేయాలి. వాళ్ళు అనవసరంగా పర్చేస్లో రాశారు, దాన్ని క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. సో మిషనరీ అకౌంట్ ఆర్ టు పర్చేస్ అకౌంట్. ఆర్ యూ ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ నాట్? ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ వన్ మోర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. Salary paid to typist, wrongly debited to typist account. Salary paid to typist, wrongly debited to typist account. When you paid salary, salary must be debited. When you paid rent, rent must be debited. All nominal accounts, if they are expenses, they must be debited. So salary account are. They wrongly debited typist, that must be created. So what the rectifying entry? Salary account are to typist account. Understanding or not? What should be debited? That must be debited. Salary account are. What they wrongly debited? That must be created. To typist account. Salary account are to typist account. Well, dear students, I explained here 4 models. 1 or 2 models are there. Please write down. That also I will explain. Okay? Following or not? Well, okay. Please write down. Well, dear students, have you taken all this? Already we completed 5 models. Now I am explaining 6th one. Well, we completed 4 only. Now I am coming to 5th one. Please look at the board. Instead of crediting one account, I will write down that model only. That way only, one account created, instead of crediting another account, instead of crediting another account, same model, but here one account debited instead of debiting another. Here one account created instead of crediting another account. Understand? Rectify. Original account must be created. Original account must be created. Wrong credit must be debited. Wrong credit must be debited. Well, original account must be created. What they created wrong, that must be debited now. Now, example, commission received from X. Commission received from X, 500 rupees. They credited to Y. Now rectifying entry. Well, dear students, when we received commission cash account debit to commission account. When I received interest cash account debit to interest account. When I received tuition fees cash account debit to tuition fees account, that student name is not important. Understand? Here also, they credited to X. When we received commission cash account debit to commission, commission must be credited. But they credited to X account. X is not important. That person is not important. Understanding? So commission must be credited. They wrongly created X. That must be debited. So X account debit to commission account. Understanding or not? 500. Well, dear students, I am telling one more example. We received cash from Ram Rao, but they wrongly credited to Krishna Rao. They wrongly credited to Rama, Krishna, all are same, all are BJP. But we received from Rama Rao cash account, not to Rama Rao. Rama Rao must be credited. But they wrongly credited to Krishna Rao. Krishna Rao must be debited. So Krishna Rao account, not to Rama Rao. Following or not? Understanding? Well, look here. Last model. In this 6 models only, no suspense. Only. Why? Because they never affected the trial balance. So there is debit is available, credit is available. They are called two-side errors. That's why no suspense is needed. But in the other cases, suspense account must be required. First, I am going through this 6th model and the last model. What is the error here? Entered in one book instead of another book. Here, how to rectify? Original entry must be recorded plus reverse to wrong entry, reverse of wrong entry. Well, dear students, we must pass original entry, we must record original entry. And what they recorded wrong entry, that must be reversed. That must be reversed. So here, 2 entries required, or you can combine both also. Look here, I am giving you an example. Purchases from the Mahesh. Purchases from Mahesh, 1000 rupees. Entered in sales book. Now rectifying entry, look here. Well, dear students, when we purchased from Mahesh, purchases account debtor to Mahesh. Purchases account debtor to Mahesh. That is the original entry. What they return? They entered in sales means Mahesh account debtor to sales. They retain. So this is the original entry. This is the wrong entry. Understanding? Purchases account debtor to Mahesh. So I will write down purchases account debtor 1000 rupees. They wrongly entered in sales. It is wrong. It must be rectified. That means it must be debited. Sales credit lo undi babu, danni cancel cheyali, kotteyali ante debit cheyali. Sales account debtor. Mahesh must be credited. So to Mahesh, 2000 rupees. Why double amount is required? When we purchase account debtor to Mahesh, Mahesh must be credited. But when they pass wrong entry, Mahesh account debtor, they debited. That must be cancelled. So Mahesh account originally be credited, and what they given debit, that must be credited again. So Mahesh account is credited with double amount. Following or not? Hello. When we purchase account debtor, they wrongly entered in sales, that must be debited again. Sales account debtor to Mahesh account. Well, dear students, in all these 6 models, 100% no suspense account is required. First model, no entry, so you can write down the original entry. In the second model, they return less amount, so pass original entry only for the difference amount. In the third case, they return higher amount, then what you have to do? You have to reverse the original entry for the difference amount. Here, one account debited instead of debiting another. This model is very important. Why? Because maximum errors are made in this case, in this model only. The original account must be debited. What they debited wrong, that must be credited. Here also, original account must be credited. What they credited wrong, that must be debited. Here, entered in one book instead of another book. Why? Because there are 8 subsidiary journals, you know, purchase book, sales book, purchase returns book, sales returns book, and so on. When we have taken, instead of taking purchase book, we have taken the sales book and then we entered. What we entered? Just name only we entered now. In the subsidiary books, just name only entered. But instead of entering in purchases, they wrongly entered in sales. Instead of entering in purchases, purchase must be debited. They wrongly entered in sales, that must be debited again. Sales account debtor, purchase account debtor to Mr. Mahesh. Understand? Forward? Okay? Well, please write down. In the next class, I will go through where the suspense account is needed. The errors which disclosed by trial balance. The errors which affected the accuracy of trial balance. So as to rectify them, suspense account 100% compulsorily required. Because to rectify there is only one, either debit or credit is available. The second must be suspense. That only called suspense. నీకు ఒక డెబిటో క్రెడిటో తెలుసు బాబు, రెండో తెలియదు కదా, ఆ తెలియంది సస్పెన్స్. No thrilling, only suspense. Understanding? We'll go through in the next class. Thank you all. Please take down.